casually throws through a portal? We're on Moonvik still? In theory? Possibly, maybe? Whoa, okay, that's new. Let's stop him from doing that. Maybe. That, I would like to believe I dashed out of the way from. Thank you very much. We should also try to ignite you when we can. Oh, I want to reduce your armor. Pretty please. That didn't look good, although I'm pretty sure you missed. Okay, well, don't. Okay, now I see what that is. You make like a meteor, and there's a bit of a tell as to where it's going to show up. Okay, that I was just slow. Slow to react to that. This is going to be, again, the like range. Oh, no, this is meteors. This is meteors. Hit you when you're doing that. Okay, I don't know. His animation is a little bit deceiving that he'll actually hit you when he doesn't look like he's in the act of swinging his sword in your general direction. A little bit misleading. It looks like we're dodging out of the way of many of these. He actually threw in a kick there that I guess is the thing that broke our sign. I attacked in the wrong direction, but then was still able to recover in time. Okay, like, did we actually hit you with an ignite? I couldn't tell. Like, that one was debatable as to whether you actually succeeded. Okay, we definitely hit you with the ignite that time, though. I'd like to get Quen back on, though. Ooh, again with the quick kicks. Maybe that's what it is. Keeps on throwing those in. Okay, this again. Ooh, I did not. The little sidestep was not enough, apparently. That's good to know. Not been counterattacking, but that might be worth giving a shot. Okay, where are you? Oh, meteors. Okay. Meteors incoming. That one is close. What's the matter? Lost your nerve? Oh, hold on. Yep, I admittedly thought you were just gonna do a normal attack that time. Oh, exploding things. Oh, that was bad time on the counter, but we did still manage to break our Quen there. Sort of. Not exactly, though. We still have it, actually. That's what I think of you. Oh! And this. Oh, what? Still broke through it? Even though I blocked you? Not sure what I was trying to do there that I was technically not supposed to do. Okay. Gotta sidestep those with a full-blown roll. Oh, I was prepared for the... I was prepping for the counterattack, and then he teleported. Okay, if you want to beckon me, bring it on, buddy old pal. The game has... Oh, it has frozen? Question mark? It is not frozen. We're fine. I was concerned. He's not crouched that time. She was previously. He's getting very low here. Sneak an attack. Wait for him to attack, maybe, and go for the counter. Except again, he's teleporting. Okay, he's over here. Get him from here? Not quite. Attack me so I can counter you. Except it doesn't always work all that well. Oh, I mean, I didn't really expect that, but it almost worked in our favor. Okay, don't get greedy. It is tempting. Yeah, sometimes the game's like freezing a bit when I try to press Quen here. Like, we undo that and then, okay, well, hold on. Hold on. I'd like to Quen. You're not letting me Quen. You're actually not even letting me open up our signs. I cannot open up our signs. I'm not allowed to open up our signs. Don't ask me why, but signs are no longer allowed. We may not need them anymore, though. One more hit, and he may go down? Or through this portal, at least? Well, he's gonna do this. Follow Airden through the portal, that we can do. Okay, I admittedly took my hand off the controller for a second there. I was scratching my nose, and then you started attacking us. You know, only have myself to blame for that one. You're not wrong. I can't swing our sword? What? There we go. Odd. But that may have been the finishing blow there. Oh! Not so tough now, are you? fat chance. Any last words?
You said you had something to tell me.
Avalar has tricked us both.
I'm sure he has.
He set us against each other, and he's made off with CIRI'S.
Maybe.
I don't believe you.
I mean, that's basically the thing that I was saying all this time that he might try to do. And we might be about to see if that's true. This instant, perhaps. What is this? Lots of hounds. Yen saving us. Okay.
Where's Ciri?
Where is Ciri?
I thought you knew.
All I know is Avalok might have betrayed us. What the? That a storm?
Wind's howling.
Geralt, look!
Yeah, the big scary tower thing that I was talking about earlier. It was totally going to be significant at some point in time.
What the hell's happening?
I find it damned hard to believe, but
He's opening up the portal.
the gate between the worlds is open.
Yeah.
We must reach the tower, quickly. Stop Avalok, while this can still be reversed.
What can we expect? Also,
What are we gonna find there?
totally called
If
this.
the tomes are to be believed, nature's laws will cease to hold. Gravity and time, Undvik, all of it will be turned on its head.
Exaggerating for effect, right?
Not one bit.
Oh, lovely.
The conjunction of spheres has begun.
Oh.
Worlds, they're aligned, permeate one another. Avalok could use this. Bring the NL here, or something far worse.
Alright, Avalok. Yep. You know, tried to give you a chance. Tried to give you a chance to be a reasonable guy, and what did you do? You did this. Freaking conjunction of spheres. This is why we can't have nice things. This is why we can't give you the Sunstone. You can't have Ciri. Because you do this.
At least we know where to look for Ciri.
Follow me, and stay alert.
Okay. I think this is one of those situations where we absolutely stay right next to Yen.
What do you think Avalok wants from her?
Same as Eridan, I imagine. He will use her to open a gate between the worlds.
Just follow Yennefer, it says.
Shit. An earthquake?
We must hurry.
Okay, let's run then. Perhaps.
Damn it! That ship's about to disintegrate.
Okay, do we need the ship? You say hide on the other side? I missed what Geralt said there, which may or may not have been significant because, well, you know, there's a lot of stuff happening right now. May or may not be about to get disintegrated. All right, let's also just take a second here to see Ted Dayreth, the final age, the end is nigh. Eridan's words rang in Geralt's ears. Could Avalok truly have betrayed them? I mean, it was kind of obvious that's what he was trying to do all along. Could Ciri still be in danger, even with the Wild Hunt destroyed once and for all? Without a moment to lose and paying no heed to their wounds or exhaustion, Geralt and Yennefer plunged back into the post-battle chaos ravaging Undvik. Oh boy! Okay. Keep on running. Keep on running. Nilfgaard soldiers are just like, ah! I didn't sign up for this!
Grab the horse. Save time.
Oh, where? Oh, yep, here. Which horse? I'm trying to grab a horse. There we go. Come on, Yen. It's supposed to follow you. Okay. Big baddie, so Yen, you just ran right through that.
Conjunction is just beginning.
What'll happen next?
I don't know yet.
More on the way.
We must hurry. The gates between the worlds are growing wider.
Uh-oh.
Tremors are getting worse.
Also running out of more stamina here. Just 1 second, Yen. 1 second.
Slow now.
No, not slow now, though. All right, Yen. I mean, we're headed up to the tower, are we not?
White frost.
Go up over this. My horse could, you know, like jump maybe. Or do we dismount? Dismount. Okay.
It'll bury us.
Wait. Tavares Tavel. Keep near me.
Okay. That we shall. So Yen's got a shield from the White Frost. Hey, yeah, we're headed for the tower. And it's not gonna be this simple, right? Alright, Yen. We got him. Good old rotting flesh. Yen? Can we keep moving? Should I be concerned about this big shadow overhead? Or is that... No, that's the circle of your shield, I think, actually. I thought that was like some humongous meteor that was just about to crash in on us and kill us all. It's like, yeah, we might want to speed up our pace to not get killed by that. Well, that was also not what I meant to do, but... That was not our best move there. Okay. Come on, Yen. Getting close. There's a shield around this, or some kind of sphere. Come on! We're so close!
Damn! Avalok surrounded the tower with a magic barricade.
Alright, what do we do about that?
Dismantle it.
Dismantle? No, I can make a tear at best. But only for a moment, because there's no...
Specifics, Yen. Will we both get through?
No! You must go alone!
I'll come back. With Ciri.
I know!
You can count on it.
Agared! Tiggy! Agared! Now, Geralt!
Oof. Alright, Yen.
I'm fine! Now go! Give Avalok my heartfelt regards!
Alright, so now we head up. Go to the Elven Tower. Now it's all, like, quiet and peaceful. My question here, well, we have perhaps just a thing slowing down ever so slightly. My question is, so, okay, what Aridin said was perhaps at least somewhat true, and that Avalok was trying to deceive us, pit us against Aridin, so that, well, we would fight each other, and then Avalok could open up the portal, trigger the conjunction of spheres. But the thing is, why couldn't Avalok just do that with Aridin? Didn't they have basically the same goal? Now, I think I mentioned this once before, but I suspect the answer to that is probably that, well, sure, they may have both wanted to open up that portal to allow the worlds to merge, the conjunction of spheres, but Avalok clearly was not a fan of Aridin being the king. And he never explicitly said it, but you could kind of read between the lines that Avalok was basically thinking the whole time, you know, I think I'd be a better king than he is. So I'd kind of like to get rid of this Aridin guy and be the one to pull off the big move rather than him, and that's his best claim to then becoming the king of the Wild Hunt, or at least the On-El elves, especially with Aridin dead. So basically, he just wanted to have us kill Aridin so that he would have a clear line to being the ruler of the On-El, even if ultimately he was going to do the same thing as Aridin and connect the two worlds. So, yeah. I think that's the deal. An odd glistening sound. We're so close to leveling up as well. This would be a great time to have that happen. Now, we have explored around here previously. So although we could go down here to the right... Actually, can we save? That'd be fantastic if we could. We can. Okay. That is the first time, at least, we manually saved in a very long time. Is there anything here? No? Maybe not? Well, that's... Ooh, careful! Do not do that. Yeah, I think we just head up. And Avalok, you have a lot of explaining to do, buddy. Whole lot of explaining to do. Shall we say reapply things that are based on dealing damage to elves? Perhaps. Perhaps. Repair any gear that may need repairing at this stage. Silver Sword is very beat up at this point, and now Avlok himself, if we are to fight him, which we may not, because this may be more of an intellectual battle, if you will, but if we are to fight him, then he may summon Wild Hunt Hound, similar to what we've seen with some of our other opponents here. Let's get you up. This is probably a good time to, sure, it's going to be a little bit of an over-repair here, but probably a good time to make sure we're at 100% just in case. So that's... the weapons are now fine. Armor, that's all looking pretty good. I don't really think there's anything for us to change there. But if we are going to fight him, then I think we want to go back to having the potion we were using previously. Was it this one? Not Al Ghul. Oh, we're out of succubus decoction. Can we meditate right now to refill our succubus decoction? I'm sure that Avlok can wait, right? Just, meditate for a couple hours, and then I'm sure he'll just be chilling there doing his thing when we get up. Maybe not. Maybe not. In which case, do we have a replacement? But try this damage reflection potion here. It does seem pretty gimmicky. A little bit concerned about that. I feel like this might be better, because we certainly are going to deal damage to him if we are to fight him. That much is for sure. But taking damage, we'd, of course, ideally not do any of that. I mean, not even at full HP here. Just like to do a tiny little heal. And then we're on 0 toxicity. So let's actually let's switch these around ever so slightly. I want to have you actually be, or I don't want our healing things to both be on the top and our damaging things both be on the bottom. I just want to switch the positioning here a little bit. So if we wait, what is the best way to do this? We just remove you and remove you, and then put you there, the other spot, and then you. When was it? Where'd you go? Wasn't Leshen, we were thinking about that. Where'd you go? Wait, whoa? Is this always 50% increased damage, or is that only 50% increased damage mounted combat? Because there's it says 50% increased attack power in the more white text, and then below that in yellow it also says 50%. Are those actually, the same number, or are those additive? You get the 50% attack power and then get an additional 50% if you're on a horse or going against a horse. Because we take 50% damage. No, I don't think it's additive. I don't think it's additive. I think that's just the condition that you need to have active for it to apply. Where is this potion that we were thinking of doing? Did it go to the bottom? Where did you go? You ran away. Actually, though. Not one of the healing ones. Where did you go? Critical hit chance. Resistance to vitality depleting effects. Not that one. That was one that we were thinking about. But we said this other one would probably be better. Did, like, go all the way up to the top or something? That was one that we were saying maybe, but it requires that we not take damage, which is a little bit of a risk. Yeah, just hit at the top. And then, oh my god. And then it defaulted to the spot where I didn't want to put it. Are you freaking kidding me, dude? Dude, man. Food goes here. Potion that we actually want. It's this one. Goes here. There we go. Alright, that's what I wanted. So that way we can do this. And Alpha, oh boy, we need to chat. Hey, pal. What you doing there?
Geralt. So unfortunate. I'd hoped you wouldn't have to witness this.
Is that so now?
Where's Ciri?
Nearby. Listen.
Shut up. I've heard enough of your bullshit. Draw your weapon. Let's get this over with.
Yep. Indeed. Come on, Avalok. You know it had to come down to this. What? What's this all about? Not falling for your tricks.
No chance. You're wrong. Trusted you once. Won't make that mistake again.
I am not your foe. I am merely helping Cirilla.
I don't believe you. Can't. Not after all that's happened.
Will you believe me?
Avalok speaks the truth. I asked him to help me open the tower, because I aim to enter it.
Alright, now you gotta explain, Ciri. I mean, why would you do that? Is, in fact, perhaps the first thing that comes to mind. Though it would have also been nice if you had, say, you know, told us in advance, but let's lead with the why.
Why the hell would you do this? The Wild Hunt's been defeated.
The White Frost has not.
Oh, gosh. Now she's all hung up on this White Frost stuff?
The prophecies are true. I have seen worlds bound in ice. I know what awaits you. Only the Elder Blood can stop the White Frost. Only I can stop it.
I don't care, let's go. So Ciri is basically saying, I need to sacrifice myself in order to protect you from the White Frost. And everyone else, potentially, from the White Frost. I mean, is she... Obviously, lots of questions, because that was a huge blanket statement. She was not very specific, but she's very much implying that she will have to, quite literally, die in order for us to not suffer the consequences of the White Frost taking over our world. Now, White Frost was not taking over our world until the Wild Hunt showed up, mind you. You know, we were, of course, concerned that it would happen eventually, but it didn't happen until all this stuff ended up happening, so I don't know. Now that we've defeated the Wild Hunt, is it here to stay? But we could see. Let's see. What are our actual options here? don't care, let's go is like, actually ignore that, say none of that stuff matters, we just want you alive. As for whether Ciri would actually let us do that, Ciri is very stubborn, and I kind of doubt it. You have to make this sacrifice, maybe a little bit more likely for her to actually listen to that. You know, she's doing the classic protagonist at the end of the movie with the, you know, just hell-bent on doing the honorable sacrifice thing. I was like, Ciri, you don't need to do this. Like, okay, we killed the bad guy. We can go home now. You're safe. Don't need to do this. Going too far. Now, then again, there is the whole like question of, is the White Frost actually coming? Maybe there is no annihilation coming, because Avlok may have put some nonsense into her head. Now, we've heard many prophecies about the White Frost. This much is true, including, tons of books, right? All the Wild Hunt, that was their whole big thing, was that they were concerned about the White Frost. It actually has started to take over their world, and that's why they started conquering others, so that they could just continue hopping from one world to the next and constantly run away from the White Frost. But we don't really know that it was about to, now that it's here, is it inevitable that it continues to expand and consumes the rest of our world? Or once the Wild Hunt leave, will it kind of just slowly dissipate and come back on some future occasion far in the future? Because if that's the case, if it only comes, hundred, thousands of years in the future, then you can make the case that, well, Lovelock is just being worried and he's overreacting, he's put some nonsense in your head, and, you shouldn't get all caught up about this stuff. But if it is actually here to stay, then you can make the case that, okay, well, this thing could potentially, eventually, destroy the entirety of our world, and so it would be nice to put it to a stop. In which case, is sacrificing Ciri a worthwhile thing to do in order to save the entirety of this world? Certainly make the case that it would be. Is sacrificing Ciri enough to, or if sacrificing Ciri saves every world from the White Frost for all of eternity, puts a complete stop to it, not just the world of the Anshe, but also, every other universe, like, the various dimensions that we traveled through previously, then would that be worthwhile? It's probably a stronger case, because that means that, it's never going to happen. But, it's just that we're getting awfully hasty here. It's basically, my biggest issue with this is like, alright, everybody, let's slow down, talk this one out, let's reason through this. How concerned are we about the White Frost? Once we determine that, we can decide if we think it's actually necessary to sacrifice someone to do that. Is a sacrifice even required, or can Ciri just poke her head in somewhere and be like, oh yeah, I'll just do the classic, like, drop a little thing of blood, drop of blood in some ceremonial altar thing, and then say some magical words, puff of smoke will appear, and then gust of wind will wash it all away, and then suddenly the White Frost is gone for good, and we don't actually need to kill Ciri. Like, all of these things are important things to know, and we just don't know. It's like, we can speculate, but it is purely speculation based on, what information do we trust more than other? What sources do we trust more than others? Because we've heard a lot about the White Frost, but it tends to come from, like, the Wild Hunt, or other people who have been supporting the Wild Hunt, like other Anshe, or no, not Anshe, elves. So, are they just all caught up in it because it's taken over their world? Is it really a big concern for us? Maybe, maybe not. Jack de Aldersberg, of course, would have a lot to say on this occasion. But, I'd like to believe. Let's see. In many ways, this would be my first reaction, is to say you don't have to make the sacrifice, because there's probably a way to prevent the White Frost without actually sacrificing Ciri? And B, is this even going to be something that consumes the entire world? Or is this just a little fluke, and it isn't going to be thousands of years until the actual White Frost comes and tries to take over the entirety of our world? So that's a really tempting option. Definitely not this. This is tempting as well. I think Avallac'h and or Ciri will immediately try to argue their way out of this one. So I think it needs to be one in the middle too. And just trying to think of which one would go over better, which one is more likely to actually get the result we're looking for. Because this one, Avallac'h would definitely still refute. He would very much disagree with this statement. But can we convince Ciri more so than Avallac'h can convince Ciri? Hopefully, but I'm not sure. In order to make this sacrifice, I feel like Ciri is stubborn and cares too much about her own honor. And this could be, you know, in some ways this is her quote-unquote fatal flaw. And so I think it could make the case that, you know, even if you say she doesn't have to make the sacrifice, she'll go, "But I must!" And then she'll die. And we'll be like, "Really, Ciri? You didn't have to do that." So I think I'm going to go with this one. And we're going to probably have to argue our way out of this with Avallac'h.
Ithlinne's prophecy is drivel. Destruction is not our fate.
You have seen the future, don't you remember? Entropy cannot be stopped. The worlds will freeze one after the other, and all life will perish.
Avallac'h is right. If I do nothing, humans, elves, all will face destruction.
There's gotta be another way.
That's the point. There's got to be another way, at the very least.
Saving the world, silly. You're but a witch.
Whoa! Excuse me.
This is my story, not yours. You must let me finish telling it.
Alright, well. Sounds like it's up to Ciri. I think we just gotta say good luck. I don't think we can stop her.
Good luck, Ciri.
Perhaps I should have told you. I see now you might have understood.
Know you better than you think. Don't keep me waiting.
Alright, Ciri. Get the job done. No goodbye? Just a look back over your shoulder? Okay. So like I was saying, question of what exactly does Ciri need to do to stop the White Frost here? Is it actually some kind of self-sacrifice? Or is she capable of just flipping some switch, then turning right around and coming back home? I'd like to believe that we supported her through all those things that we saw just then. But what exactly does she need to do? Is this Soonvik? This is. That's the portal. Doesn't sound good. Unless that's gonna take away the White Frost. Or will we have a Ciri or not? 2 weeks later. Geralt. Clear signs of destruction, suggesting that perhaps the White Frost either got all the way over here, or that big explosion went this far.
The gentleman will follow.
Something ends, something begins. Follow the Chamberlain. Okay, hold on. We got a lot of stuff to make sense of right now. My story began in Temeria, near Vizima, with Geralt dreaming a dream of Yennefer, Ciri, and the Wild Hunt. It ends in Temeria as well, with the Witcher returning to Vizima to have one last conversation with the Emperor, and tell him Ciri would not be coming back. Oh boy. At least, as things stand right now, it appears as though, perhaps, Ciri has succeeded in preventing the White Frost from expanding. At least that's what seems to be the case, but it's 2 weeks later, no signs of her. She is, of course, Traveler of Time and Space, so wouldn't necessarily completely rule it out at this stage, but it's not looking good in terms of Ciri coming back, at the very least. We did also level up. I mean, this feels like a strange time to be putting on an additional skill point, but I guess we'll upgrade Sunder Armor as well. One more time here.
Report. The Novigrad delegation is half a day's travel from here.
They truly are rushing. Return to your post.
Yes, sir.
So, of course, Emir's probably not going to be very happy with us. Is he going to... Let's save. Remember when we were on the boat? We were on the boat with Emir. And he was all like, hey, you're very lucky, Geralt. You see, at the moment, you're indispensable to me, so I can't kill you. But as soon as I don't need you, I will do just that. Here's the thing. We go in there. We tell him Ciri is, well, she's not coming back. He's not going to be happy with us, and he may not have any reason for us anymore, so we may, we may die. For reals. So we'll see how this plays out here. Actually, growing increasingly concerned about that. Increasingly concerned.
His Imperial Majesty.
Okay. Sure thing, Emir. How's it going, buddy? Pleasure seeing you. So, how's it going? How about that weather, right? You see? It's getting all snowy.
Ciri is dead.
How did it happen?
The White Cold. You're familiar with the prophecy? Ciri tried to stop it. She did, but paid the ultimate price.
Where is the body?
In an alternate dimension.
Found.
Who else knows?
Avalach, Elven Sage. But I doubt you'll find him either.
And Yennefer?
She's decided to stay in the north. Provided you don't object.
I don't. And you?
You're not gonna kill us? None of your business. So on one hand, if we tell him, he's certainly more capable of sending some people to murder us. But on the other hand, he's surprisingly not extremely mad at us right now. At least not quite as mad as he theoretically could be. So maybe we actually, just try to speak honestly with him, dare I say?
Plenty of work for witchers after a war. I'll travel east, maybe north.
Did Cirilla say... Did she ask you to convey anything?
Oh boy! Tell him he wasn't a good father. Now, if there was a way to get ourselves killed, this would probably be it. He also probably wouldn't like that either. I mean, she didn't even say goodbye to us. She just looked over her shoulder and said, "Don't look back in anger," and then left. I was a little taken aback by that. So, I mean, I think, though, we tell him this first one here, just to make him happy. I mean, he might see through this lie, because he's pretty good at reading people, in that sense. But, at the same time, I'm not sure we should, say either of those things.
She regretted not getting a chance to say goodbye.
Did she tell you this? Really?
No, not really.
Didn't have to. She wanted to make peace. I know that. If there's nothing else...
There is, but you may go.
Okay. Care to tell us what that is?
I do not wish to see you ever again.
Is that when he kills us? Is that what that means? Like, alright. Bring out the executioners.